Hey guys, Chris here. Today we're doing a trip from Oslo to Trondheim in my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo. So today is a leisure trip. We're not going for a race. We're not going to time anything. We're not going to try to arrive with 0% stated charge. We're just going for a leisure trip, and since the trip is around 500 kilometers and it's a mixture between 4-lane motorways and country roads, the trip's gonna take around 6.5 hours without charging, and we're probably gonna have to stop and charge once along the trip. Though it would be cool to be able to complete this trip without a single charge, I don't think that is possible. So we're just charging to 100% now at this Couple charger, because this video is sponsored by Elton, which is the charging app I've used to connect this charger. And we're going to use the Elton charging app throughout this trip to see where chargers are, where there are vacant chargers, and also the speed of those chargers. So it's going to be a real nice tool on today's trip. And also, guys, I've just washed my Porsche, and I think even though these wheels in this color are a little bit out there, I think it looks pretty cool when the car is clean and it is shiny. It just pops, this thing. I actually like it a lot, but once it gets dirty, I don't think it looks nice. So I just cleaned the car on the inside. On the outside, it's like brand new. And this is probably one of the last times you guys will be seeing my Porsche Taycan Cross Turismo like this, because when I get back to Oslo next week, I'm going to deliver it back to Wrap It Up by ProX. They're going to wrap the car in a different color, and I'm also going to have the wheels painted. Road for a little more than 1.5 hours, and we've covered 161 kilometers, and we've now passed the 4-lane motorway section of the E6 just on road here. So we're gonna have rural roads now, country roads, and speed limits between 60 kilometers an hour, 70, 80, 90. Long stretches though, we're gonna have a little bit higher speeds than that. But this is the part where we're gonna go crossing a mountain, and we're gonna climb an elevation, and now we're entering a 70 zone. So we've had speed limits of 110 kilometers an hour, 90 kilometers an hour with like a middle divider, 2-lane road, which is a lot better than going 70, because 70 now feels so slow after 1.5 hours at doing 110 kilometers an hour plus. But what is good is that our consumption will start to drop now. So we're currently at, I'm going to check the battery percentage now, 54% stated charge after 165 kilometers, which gives us like a range of 330, 340. But now the consumption is going to drop and drop as we go through slower speed sections like this, and we won't start hitting higher speed roads before we're really close to Trondheim. And if you're going to go on a road like this in Norway, like we're going now, Riksvei 3 between Elverum and Ulsberg, there are a lot of speed cameras. So just follow the speed limit if you're here in Norway on holiday. There's going to be a lot of traffic now in July and August, people on holiday. I'm behind this camper and a lot of caravans and stuff like this. This is a big one with like a dually. This is a big one, but it's going 80 kilometers an hour in the 70 zone, so I'm not complaining. So just put your cruise control on, your adaptive cruise control, and just relax and chill, because the advantage of going slower is that we're going to get more range. So the consumption now 23.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers is going to drop. So I'm guessing we're going to be able to go maybe 400 kilometers before we're going to have to stop and charge, because that consumption is going to drop. Now stopped here at our first charging station. This is a brand new recharge charging station where they have 8 of these campfire satellites, And this wasn't actually in the Elton charging app map, so it has to be pretty new because I thought I had to go all the way to Alvdal, which is about 75 kilometers away from here. There they have a recharge charging station and also an Ionity charging station. And I was looking at the charging map in the app, and it was showing me that, well, all of them were pretty much occupied because there aren't too many, charging stations, charging stops, or rest stops between Elverum and, Berkok and Trondheim, actually, on the Riksvei 3. So I just passed this and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stop here and charge. So we're here with 32% stated charge. We could have gone to Tynset or to Alvdal without a problem, like 75 kilometers or 100 kilometers more. But I thought, let's just stop here, top up a little bit. There's a gas station here. I actually stopped down the road to go to the toilet, but now I can possibly get something to eat. So, I mean, we're not far away from being able to do this trip, without charging. So maybe how much, I don't know. I'm just going to pop into the charging station, the gas station, and we're already at 35% stated charge. These peak at 200 kilowatts, but I don't know what the total charging load here is. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cars stopped there, and we're only getting 130 kilowatts. So, I mean, that's better than standing and not charging at all, just queuing. If we would have gone to the next charging station in Alvdal, almost all of the charging stations were occupied, or charging bays were occupied, all the chargers. So stopping here, being sure that we're charging, even though we're only doing 130 kilowatts, is better than not charging at all. Welcome to Trondheim, guys. We're now here. It's a little past 6, so we've spent around 6.5 hours with charging on today's trip. So we charged to 80% stated charge. We have now arrived here with 9%. And let's check out the consumption. I haven't looked at that in a while. So let's scroll up here. Average consumption ended at 21.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. And as you guys can see, we've been in the car for 6 hours and 12 minutes, so that means we charged for about 18 or 20 minutes, something around there. I wasn't counting. Again, it's a leisure trip, and when you're just parking, charging, and then you're going into the station to go to the toilet, buy a hot dog to eat, get something to drink, and then you got to the car, and then you're waiting for 5 minutes for the car to charge to 80%. Well, you're not, depending on the time. The time doesn't matter. Like if that was 50 minutes or 20 or 25 minutes, it really doesn't matter. So I thought this would be interesting to show you guys a little bit of a different video than I usually do here. This isn't, a long trip test where we're trying down to the minute to try to get the best time possible. In the real world, I mean, that is really nice because that's benchmarking the cars. You can go to the list and then you can see how well a car will do compared to other cars. So that's how we benchmark the cars. But in the real world, you're not as stringent as that. You're going to stop, you're going to charge, and if it takes 10 minutes to charge or 15 or 20 minutes, it really doesn't matter. If you're going consecutive days, like traveling and traveling and traveling, and you're doing consecutive charging stops, if you're like driving through Germany at high speed, you're driving maybe like 12 or 14 hours, maybe then you're like, oh, I want to charge for 20 minutes instead of 30 minutes. But for most people, like a leg like this, 513 kilometers, not a very long leg, 6 hours plus charging, but it's a long trip for a lot of people, especially in Europe, and you're not going to do several of these in a day. This is a day travel, and then it doesn't matter if it takes 15 or 20 minutes to travel. So today, leisure trip, consumption is good, charging was easy. We went to a charging station. There wasn't, a lot of occupancy there. I think 5 out of the 8 chargers were vacant after we connected. And when I went to the next charging station in Elton, where I originally thought of charging, well, it was a little bit more occupancy there, but still a few chargers vacant. So guys, let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys then, and goodbye.